We all have egos, but some of us have more than others. Having too much ego can lead to problems in both your personal and professional life. Luckily, there are ways to tame your ego. Keep watching this video to learn more about the dangers of having an inflated ego and what you can do to keep yours in check. 1. You are always right. If you find yourself always being right, it's likely that you have a lot of ego. This can be a problem in relationships, as it can lead to conflict and resentment. It's important to be able to step back and see things from other people's perspectives, and to be open to the idea that you might not always be right. If you're struggling with this, it might be helpful to talk to a therapist or counselor who can help you learn how to manage your ego. 2. You need to be the center of attention. If you find yourself needing to be the center of attention all the time, it's a sign that you have a lot of ego. It's important to be confident and have a healthy ego, but if you're constantly needing to be the center of attention, it can become a problem. It can make you seem arrogant and self-centered, and people may start to avoid you. If you find yourself in this situation, try to take a step back and let others have the spotlight for a while. It'll do you good to humble yourself every once in a while. 3. You have a hard time taking criticism. If you have a hard time taking criticism, it may be because you have a lot of ego. Ego can get in the way of hearing constructive feedback and can prevent you from growing as a person. If you find yourself getting defensive when someone criticizes you, it may be worth examining your ego to see if it's getting in the way of your relationships and development. 4. You have a hard time admitting when you're wrong. When you have a lot of ego, you have a hard time admitting when you're wrong. You might make excuses or try to rationalize your actions, but deep down you know that you're not being truthful with yourself. This can lead to problems in your personal and professional relationships, as well as your own mental and emotional health. If you find yourself regularly making excuses or justifying your actions, it's time to take a step back and examine your ego. 5. You're always trying to one-up others. If you're always trying to one-up others, it's likely that you have a pretty big ego. Whether you're bragging about your latest accomplishment or belittling someone else's achievements, you're probably doing it because you want to feel superior. And while there's nothing wrong with having a healthy amount of self-confidence, too much ego can be a major problem. If you're constantly comparing yourself to others and coming up short, or if you can't stand to be around people who are smarter or more successful than you, then your ego is probably out of control. If your ego is running the show, it can be hard to achieve anything because you're so focused on being the best. You might also find yourself alienating others because of your need to be the center of attention. So, if you're always trying to one-up others, it's important to take a step back and check your ego at the door. Otherwise, you might end up missing out on some great opportunities and making some enemies along the way. Conclusion: if you're constantly seeking validation from others, always need to be right, can't handle criticism, see yourself as superior to others, or are always the center of attention, then it's likely that you have a lot of ego. Although there's nothing inherently wrong with having a strong sense of self-worth, too much ego can lead to problems in your personal and professional relationships. If you think you might have a problem with ego, consider talking to a therapist or counselor who can help you learn how to manage it in a healthy way. We hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and share, and do subscribe for more amazing content.